So people have seen the term going around how Trump was right about everything. Yes, he was. And he was right when he said fake news. Here's why. So some people may have seen the recent interview or the clips that have gone around TikTok, what Trump said about TikTok and Facebook. And one of the things he said is there's a danger to banning it with free speech, freedom of speech. Yes, because there's millions of Americans on here who are speaking freely. And unfortunately, there's no American platform. But he says more than that. Because he says, I think China controls Facebook. And he also said that Facebook, in my opinion, was worse than TikTok by a lot. So Facebook is worse, and Facebook is controlled by China. So then when the politicians carry on about China, 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 in regards to TikTok, it doesn't make sense, does it? Because many of us know TikTok, or that Facebook is worse. And even Trump is saying it. And Trump realizes the freedom of speech problem here, that our government is literally the communists. Because the CEO of the CEO of TikTok says this. Irony alert. You know what, Breitbart? You are so out of line. And the media is truly the enemy to the people. CEO of Communist China's TikTok. You know how many times they accused him of being part of the Chinese Communist Party and how many times he refuted it in hearings? And he finally said, I'm not from China. I'm from South Korea. Unbelievable, the trash in Washington. But the CEO of TikTok urges Americans to protect your constitutional rights. Oh, so the Chinese Communist Party, which it's not. This is not about the Chinese Communist Party. It's about communists, but not China's. But, so let's just go with what the liars say. So the Chinese Communist Party app is encouraging us to speak, because this article goes on to say that he says, speak up, speak freely, let your voices be heard. That's what he says. That's what he says. Protect your constitutional rights. So while Breitbart makes fun of him, and while our arrogant politicians on the Republican and the Democrat side run around to all the news media, and the news media helps them to push this idea that TikTok is a danger, yet they say nothing about the danger of Facebook. And even Trump said Facebook is worse and Facebook is controlled by China. Then it should tell you it's not about China. If it was about China, then Facebook should be on the chopping block as well. But actually neither one should be, because the government isn't allowed to suspend your rights just when they feel like it, just because they want to say this is a threat and that's a threat. You know why they're not allowed to suspend them? Because you were given them by God. And what God has given, no man has any right to take away. Maybe Breitbart should take a lesson in understanding the Constitution. They clearly don't. Alex Marlow with Breitbart. TikTok is a cancer in our republic. No, you are. You are. Breitbart is. The media is. And you just do the billing for a bunch of communist politicians. This seems to be an ongoing theme, if people have noticed. It's that TikTok is influencing us. That's the problem. We're being manipulated and influenced. So the Chinese Communist Party is manipulating and influencing us. And what they're influencing us to do is speak up, speak freely, and let our voices be heard and protect our constitutional rights. And that's bad. How? But again, this isn't about the Chinese Communist Party. China controlling one of the most powerful algorithms influencing the U.S. Well, no, because they're controlling Facebook's too. But see, influencing the U.S. See, these people who are just doing the bidding for a bunch of deadbeats in the swamp, they're just protecting them. which is why Trump started off his campaign with fake news. It is not the Chinese Communist Party that is the problem. It's the Communist Party in the swamp, the Republicans and Democrats, and the media that protects them that is the problem and the enemy to the people. And speaking of Kristi Noem, China's number one desire is to destroy America. Is it China's number one goal, Kristi? Or is it the Americans in this country that in high positions that truly are the communists trying to destroy it? I think we all know the answer to that. Quote, we should be alarmed by their influence. Their influence. So there again, their influence. And what is their influence? The CEO of TikTok says protect your constitutional rights. Speak up, let your voices be heard. And yet it's his platform where our voices get reach and are heard. But our politicians have a problem with that. And they want to say we're being influenced. Well, yeah, we should be influenced by people that are telling us to speak up. It's our government, the Americans in the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, the American media. They're the ones all wanting to take away our speech. GOP Senator Braun on TikTok, I'm torn between First Amendment civil liberties and national security. Well, you really shouldn't be if you had a brain, because this isn't something to be torn about. You are not God, Senator Braun. Apparently, many of you there, though, in the swamp think you're God. But you're not. So you didn't give us the First Amendment. It's a right given to us by God. So no man has a right to take away what God has given. So you shouldn't be torn about this. You're stepping into an area you don't belong. You don't get to suspend our rights just because you want to push the lie that there's a national security risk. You don't get to push lies of security or that China's coming to get us, that viruses. You don't get to do all this just to take away our rights. And you all have done it long enough. And you all have been exposed. Because China controlling Facebook is more of a danger, and even President Trump says it, and is worse than TikTok. Yet all you people carry on about is TikTok and China, China, China. Way to go, Breitbart. You've all shown your true colors. You are men standing on the wrong side. You don't get to decide if we can have our rights that God gave us. Those are not rights that you get to take away or suspend. Check yourselves.